Humans are the reason that waste exists. There's no bin in the jungle or the desert or the ocean. The bin is a human design, and it's totally incongruous with nature. It doesn't make sense. So this idea of taking the bin away, it may seem like a very literal action, but there is this macro view of human history and where we're going wrong, and it's an opportunity for us as a restaurant and a community to realign, to kind of come back to the natural order, to reconnect with regenerative farmers and things that don't damage nature. Today we're going to be cooking a silo classic dish, which is a smoked red curry pumpkin. Now we look at this pumpkin as a whole entity, so the principle of nose to tail cooking, where an animal, everything is used from nose to tail. Similar principle with this pumpkin. So now we're gonna cut the pumpkin straight through the middle. Then we're gonna take the guts out, ready to make the XO sauce. The skin's gonna become marmalade, but we're gonna take another layer of peeling off of this pumpkin, and we're gonna dry that, smoke that, and use that as a seasoning on the final dish. So just make sure to take out any of the pumpkin muscle fibers, just squaring off the edges, sculpting it, I guess. So now we're putting the half moon pumpkins onto a steamer tray, and we're going to steam it for 10 to 12 minutes. So now we're going to julienne, very finely slice the pumpkin skins. So we're going to cook the pumpkin skin into pumpkin skin marmalade. So we're going to pressure cook it with vinegar and sugar. So while this is coming up to a simmer, we're going to brine the pumpkin flesh. And so we've just got a bath of salt and a little bit of panela sugar, and we're just going to drop in the pumpkin flesh to sit and to brine for about 15 to 20 minutes. So now the pumpkin skins have come up to a simmer. We're going to pop the lid on. So this is going to pressure cook for 15 minutes, which is nice because that's how long the pumpkins have got left to brine. So what we're doing differently at Silo is that we're designing from the point of view of the system. So we have a food system, food is flowing through the door, we're processing it in ways we know best, and then at some point when the seasons change and the farms change and the produce changes, we find ourselves with an amount of surplus, and that's where we design from. Say leek tops, say we put leeks on the menu because these beautiful leeks come in. What do we do with all the leek tops? And that's when we innovate. What does a leek top want to become? It might want to become a really young lacto fermentation, like a kimchi or a sauerkraut. Not an old, because as soon as it passes like a 4 or 5 day, the lactic acid has been produced within this leek top, it can go brown, and that's less desirable. But a 3 to 4 day lacto ferment, you get this nice, bright, juicy acidity, delicious. And so this is the innovation process. It's like a process of elimination, asking what that vegetable or surplus ingredient wants to become. So we put the brined pumpkin flesh in the upper echelons of the hearth, and then let the applewood smoke gently smoke and penetrate deep, wonderful smokiness to the pumpkin. So we're going to glaze the smoked pumpkin in the excess marmalade syrup, and then we're going to heavily season it with the umami smoked pumpkin trim with the Szechuan in there, and then the smoked salt. So for the final dish, we spread the creme fraiche on the base of the plate, and then we put the grilled, smoked, brined, delicious seasoned pumpkin on top, and then finally the oil from the XO and the pumpkin skin marmalade. Have we achieved a perfect zero waste system with not a shred of any kind of waste? Unfortunately not, no, and I don't think we ever will. What matters is that we commit ourselves to a project, to an idea, but this is where we've made mistakes. This is a cube pressed from about 3 big bags of shreds of plastic and foil and just random bits that represents us not quite having everything figured out, and that's okay, and it's beautiful.